Alright, what is going on, guys? SpitefulHopes back again, coming at you with a video brought to you and sponsored by none other than Bleach Immortal Souls, an all-new official licensed RPG mobile game featuring the voice acting from the original anime, as well as licensed tracks. Not many games can say that. A game with an engaging story that revisits the wonderful world of Bleach that we all know and love, in a turn-based strategy RPG that revolves around building a team and building up a team composition in order to take down your enemies, being able to collect all your favorite characters as well as their various forms, along with the various game modes ranging from story to PvP to battle arena to roguelike, etc. The game already has a lot of planned updates, such as the release of their new Kenpachi contest, which is actually cross-server, so you can actually see who's actually the best. Now, the game has been out since the end of March, and they've already started to release the visors, with the espadas coming soon, 100% confirmed, as well as aka Daddy Grim. He's got to be on the horizon soon, right? Anyways, I can't wait for that. But, so support Bleach, support me. However you want to do it, link is down below. It'll be the first link in the description, as always. As well as the ability to use this code for a free multi-summon on them. And yeah, good luck to you guys. And yeah, I mean, I guess that's it. I hope to see y'all there, and let's get on with the video. Alright, and we are back. Okay, so we're just gonna get right into it. Top 10 Ichigos, and I don't think that it's really like too crazy difficult to order these. I will be going over the notables, the honorable mentions that in my opinion don't really fit the list, but should be talked about relatively, at least just a little bit. Going into Helver's Ichigo, this man has a link. He's probably never coming back. If you're a whale and you have the opportunity to summon for him, try to pick him up because he comes back maybe once every 4 years. Besides that, he's not really playable, so I'm not going to go too deep into him. Bond Ichigo, if you happen to pull him, he's not necessarily a bad character to work on. He's a bonus in Chronicle Quest. He's nothing too crazy to like. I wouldn't prioritize him with like Transcendent slots, but he will auto just fine in the Chronicle Quest that he's bonus in. He has an Arankar killer. He's a ranged unit as well as a normal attack damage bruiser of 75% when you include his link. He is an enhanced Nat link, which is nice. A sprinter +1 weakened defense on his ultimate to help his Nat out a bit. He does have bleed through Nat, which is pretty good, and the last hit does separate in 3 waves. So if you're up next to the boss, getting that the fourth hit off actually deals a lot of damage. So might not be too bad to look into. He does have the 2500 length beam, which is pretty good for a ranged character, and a full screen third strong attack. Second strong attack isn't really too crazy. Similar essays are the same as Uryu, Baragon, Tokinata, for those that are more familiar with Tokinata. Alright, going next on the list, of course, we have Bankai Ichigo. Bankai Ichigo honestly could have been so much better, but Caleb decided not to have him realize his full potential. He was a normal attack damage link of 20%, but then they gave him strong attack recharge minus 10% as well, which is pretty good. Berserker 50%, they kept that the same. They didn't really do too much. They gave him a 5% extra to his long reach. Overall, honestly, this character is kind of disappointing, but since he is Bankai Ichigo, I wanted to at least mention him, because if you pull him, he's not necessarily bad, and he's pretty good for a spot a week. Unfortunately, I do believe that you need him max transcended with dupes for him to actually do his job there very well, as opposed to, say, someone like Apache, who was specifically designed for Guild Quest. Going into the final honorable mention, or at least I believe the final honorable mention that should be on this list, is definitely going to be Full Hollow Ichigo from 4th Anniversary. He's a great unit, but in my opinion, there are just characters that do his job better, aka Noitora. He does have a Captain Killer, which he is a Soul Reaper Hollow, so he kind of falls short a little bit in the disadvantage department when it comes to like PvE. Being both Soul Reaper and Hollow, a lot of units actually have that killer. Going into the Soul Tree, he has a Berserker of 30%, decreased Captain damage taken minus 20%, as well as a Captain Killer, Last Ditch Survival as the link instead of DR or normal attack damage. It feels like this character was made for Brave Battle, since he does have decrease captain damage taken by 20%, as well as prevent brave battle healing. So he does have a DR of 20%, but only against captains, and as we know, captains have been slowly getting phased out of the meta for the last year. So honestly, he kind of just falls short there. He does have flurry and poise. His nat string is actually pretty good. He has a 375 radius normal attack damage string, which is pretty standard. Lunge first strong attack. I believe this is a lunge second strong attack, but I could be wrong. It's been a while since I've actually fooled around with this character. Second strong attack is the barrier style attack around yourself. Not very good in terms of usefulness. And then third strong attack is just a standard full screen. So overall, not a bad character, but in my opinion, I feel like he could have just been a lot better if they gave him a PvE killer instead of Captain Killer. And I think he would have been a lot better if they just gave him like a bruiser 20% or just a DR, innate DR as the skill instead of having this decreased captain damage taken minus 20%. I think it's kind of pointless. Alright, 10th on the list, I'm going to have to give it to Quincy Ichigo. I know Quincy Ichigo's been the butt of a lot of jokes because of his range collision, first and second strong attack. However, at 1 of 5 with like SP level 10, keep in mind this list is going to be 1 of 5 SP level 10 or attack level 10 depending on the type of character you're using. Honestly, he performs fairly well. His main issue is definitely going to be his killer as well as his range collision on his first and second strong attack. In my opinion, what I like about this character the most is the fact that since he has 3 projectiles on his second strong attack, you can actually line it up with enemies in Senkaimon, since he's usually a very good character for various stages in Senkaimon, whether it be Path of Valor, Tower of Ordeals, or regular Senkaimon Tower. Third strong attack is a standard full screen, and first strong attack is an insane pushback first strong attack shave. However, he does have weaken on his attacks, which helps him deal more damage. He has a SAR 14 link, so at worst, he's a strong attack recharge link, right? And that's like at bare minimum, at worst, this character is a link. Debilitator plus 5 seconds with the weakening, freeze immunity, frenzy. He has sprinter plus 2, bruiser 20%, and devastation 40% to help with the weakening. It just he deals a lot of damage for his ultimate. I do feel like this character gets a lot of crap, and I mean with good reason. To be honest, I feel like if he was a melee character, it wouldn't really make sense. But if they gave him like the 2500 radius beam, like the length beam, as well as say something like the 800 radius AoE in front, since he doesn't have Havoc, I think he would have been a much better unit. I think he would have been incredibly strong. Like if he had the same kit as Byakuya, Spirit Society Byakuya, or Came Through and World Shinji, Bankai Shinji, he'd be great. Alright, next on the list, I'm gonna actually put Anniversary Ichigo. I do think that this character is definitely better to play with, but Anniversary Ichigo, in my opinion, edges him out as a link more than anything, and you'll notice that a lot of these characters are going to be just very, very good, useful links. Well, some of them are. Strong attack damage 25% and strong attack recharge minus 10%. Rankar, he is a Soul Reaper Hollow, and he does fit that floor. So when a new player is playing this game, floor 33 of the regular Senkaimon stage, Tower of Forging, you're going to end up running into an issue, and if you have this Anniversary Ichigo, he might actually be relatively useful. His first strong attack is a Getsuga Tensho 2 style attack, which is a projectile with range collision. Not overly too great. Second strong attack is a lunge with 690 radius, and then his third strong attack is a near full screen without being charged, and then 1200 radius full screen when it's fully charged. So this actually hits like a truck now, which is good. Now this character, I do believe, got a very, very good awakening. One of the best awakenings in actually probably the best awakening, not gonna lie. He was given the strong attack recharge, he has the 817 spiritual pressure, he was given the berserker 20%, havoc 20%, frenzy, devastation 40% to go along with his charge skill. You'll be able to deal massive damage with his charge into his special if you need to pop it out really quick. And since he has Sprinter plus 2, he'll be zooming across the battlefield. Now, his issues obviously does result from his range collision first strong attack and his lunge second strong attack. He does have small, narrow AoEs, which I do feel holds him back in comparison to someone like Quincy Ichigo. But, like, honestly, in terms of utility, like him having hollow affiliation and being able to take him past the certain floors in Senkaimon, which were otherwise locked before Transcendence was even a thing, this character is actually not bad, and at worst, if you level up his SP, he's a much better link than this Ichigo, which is kind of weird. Okay, next on the list, I'm going to have to give it to Tag Team Ichigo here on the list based out of merits because he's actually a good character. This character is from 2017, and since Transcendence, he's only gotten a bit better. I don't think that he's as crazy as some of these newer power units with the Rankar or Soul Reaper Killer, but I do feel like he still holds his own, which is kind of insane considering his age. 725 spiritual pressure, he does indeed have Havoc 20% along with Frenzy. He has a near full screen third strong attack, just 40 radius off of being full screen, 570 lunge, and 510 radius plant vortex in front. I feel like this vortex definitely holds him back quite a bit, but since he has Soul Reaper and a Rankar Killer, you can take him into 2 different weeks of guild quests as well as different various extreme co-ops, inheritance zones, even though he's not Ruruka, but you get my drift. His Soul Tree, The Devastation 40% definitely helps him deal damage, and since he's a premium pool unit, you're most likely to be able to get at least one extra copy of a dupe, maybe. And overall, he's overall just a good value unit. Honestly, I'd say like if the new 5th anniversary Ichigo is like Wagyu Kobe beef, this is like $5 beef at Walmart. You know, it's good enough. You know what I'm saying? Just season it a little bit and he'll be fine. Alright, next on the list, gonna have to give it to Desert Society Ichigo. I don't think this Ichigo is really all too crazy, but he does bring some much wanted utility should you want to run him, right? So he is a ranged Rancor killer, damage reduction link. He is a team healer, and he has burn on all of his attacks. So even if you have to rely on his range collision across the board on his NAD and his first strong attack, you have a 975 AoE in front, which helps him guard break. And since he is a NAD based character, you don't really have to rely all too much with his strong attacks except for trying to guard break. And since he does have range collision with his first, I feel like that definitely holds him back just a little bit. Okay, it holds him back a lot. I ain't even going by. He does have Bruiser 20% along with Flurry, and with the damage reduction link makes him a very good auto unit since he does have Medic. Sprinter +1 and Berserker +30%. I personally wouldn't really run him for an SP based build because Berserker 30% and Devastation 20% is actually really low. 769 attack as well as over 1100 stamina makes him a very good contender for an auto unit. For those that don't really have like too crazy accessories, he might actually not be a bad option. Okay, next on the list, Fullbring Ichigo. Fullbring Ichigo, in my opinion, has probably held his own because of the various updates that KLab has done, from Link Slot Potions to level 200 to Transcendence. This character honestly has held his own for quite some time, and he still has like 721 spiritual pressure. He's a strong attack damage link, which is slowly getting outdated, but it does help him in terms of damage. He does have a hollow killer as well as frenzy, devastation 40%. He has weakened attack on his ultimate, which honestly isn't really too useful. He has a lunge for a strong attack. His second strong attack is the 2500 length beam, which is now for the most part being put as a first strong attack, which is kind of nutty if you think about it, because this character, when he came out, his kit was just absolutely wild. He has a 3 wave hitting strong attack 3. Yeah, 3 wave hitting strong attack 3, hits 6 times. He does have frenzy, and honestly, I'm really looking forward to his resurrection. If his resurrection is actually even remotely good, and doesn't have to be excellent, just remotely good. If they give him strong attack recharge, this character is probably going to be one of the better. I'd argue that he'd probably be top 10 tech characters in the game, even though this character is from 2017. Over 3.5 years old. It's crazy, bro. Next on the list, we're going to be putting this Ichigo. Not because he's like the best Ichigo by any means. I still think that this character has a better kit. This character is probably gonna hit harder and kill better. However, this Ichigo is an human affiliation which boosts humans. He's a Soul Reaper killer. He has a last ditch link as well as strong attack recharge of -12%. But what makes this character special is that he comes in literally any color that you want, which I think is incredibly versatile when it comes down to building your account. Say you have one of every single other color, but you're missing a specific color that you need a decent unit with. This character is actually a decent unit, and at worst, he's going to be a very good link. 782 spiritual pressure, strong attack recharge link that also provides last ditch survival. Can be essential when it comes to clearing content like epic raids for the first time if you're new to epic raids, or say you want to like play extreme co-op inheritance zone when you're, let's be real here, there's lag. There on occasion you eventually will die at some point. Like, no one's perfect, and if you claim you're perfect, bro, you need to get checked out because you're probably a sociopath. So Berserker 20% along with Frenzy, Debilitator +2 seconds with last rate on all of his attacks. Like, even when you're playing this character, say you get up to the final boss room, even if you don't kill, despite him having Devastation 40% and bleed on his ultimate, you're locking the boss from being able to pop off their ultimate moves, you're blocking them from being able to pop off their strong attacks, and overall honestly, he'll do just fine. Like I said, I don't think he's like a crazy unit or anything like that, but when KLab starts putting out more humans in the mix, like say more Fullbringers, more Uryus, Orihimes, and Chads that are human, because I know that Uryu right now is Quincy Sternritter, right? This could play a role in later stages. Like having a Berserker of 40% built into the character, it's pretty good. So yeah, that's why I'm gonna put this Ichigo a little bit higher than this Fullbring. Definitely this Fullbring Ichigo is going to be going up in ranks when he gets his resurrection. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. He's gonna have like 800 spiritual pressure. It's gonna happen, boys. All right, next on the list, True Bankai Ichigo. True Bankai Ichigo is probably one of my favorite characters to ever be released, just because of what he did when he originally came out. Now, coming from 1000 Year Blood War Round 4, you only had really like 2 playable units. You had 1000 Year Blood War Yoruichi, you had Yuwa for PvP, Kisuke for the trash bin, just so that he could be the cuck and the laughing stock of the banner, and for those players that actually need a revive mechanic on the ultimate. And then you had True Bankai Ichigo, who in my opinion was probably the second best in the banner, only because I feel like Yoruichi ended up aging like fine wine when it comes to this transcendence mechanic, right? So going into this Ichigo, Soul Reaper with Soul Reaper Killer, strong attack recharge minus 12%, near 800 spiritual pressure, as well as a bruiser of 20%. Bruiser of 20%, immunity to paralysis and weakening, sprinter +1. And then he does have a devastation of 40% along with frenzy, and he is a boosting unit that also gets enhancer. So he does have a transformation mechanic for 30 seconds that actually, unfortunately, since it's not on his special and it's on his boost, it doesn't mean that he resets it. It means that he does not reset his cooldowns, which in my opinion is really, really unfortunate. So with a lunge for strong attack, a barrier heal boost style attack, a standard attack for strong attack 2, and his full screen third strong attack, I feel like he kind of falls short a little in today's standards, but overall just a very, very good character. The first strong attack gets an increase of 20% in magnifications. His third strong attack gets an extra 20%. So it goes from 120 divided by 140. So it gets like a 15% boost, right? So 120 times 1.15. Yeah, so he gets like a little bit higher than a 15% boost to his magnifications, and he gets a 10% magnification on his normal attack, which is actually pretty good because boost increases your attack, defense, and focus, so your NAD actually deals some damage, which is not bad. Alright, next on the list, gotta give it to my boy Mugetsu. I'm sick of your crap, but let's finish this, bro. Now, Mugetsu, when he originally came out, was actually pretty game-changing. He was the first non-tag team character / dual character with 2 killers, so he did get no affiliation and Hollow Killer, and normally I don't like no affiliation killer, but since he was given 2 killers, I think that it worked out just fine. This was back during the day that no affiliation killers were considered bad, and they're still relatively mediocre, which is why the dual killer is actually really good. So going into the actual skills of the character himself, he has a sprinter +2, so he can zoom across the board. Debilitator +5 seconds with weakening on all of his attacks. Devastation 40%, which helps with the weakening on his ultimate. Freeze immunity, frenzy, as well as a recover 20% stamina, so he's actually not a bad auto unit either. Bruiser +20%, and he actually has a really good kit. His first strong attack is a lunge, second strong attack is the 800 radius, second strong attack, and then strong attack 3 is the standard full screen third strong attack. Not really like, what's the word I'm looking for? It's not like revolutionary, but just having all that on one character was really, really strong. Like being able to just heal every turn, being able to have sprinter +2. This also allowed the option for him to actually run with a Senkaizen link without having to worry about completely losing it after, like, say you get hit by one enemy. Usually you can just pop off a strong attack, go to the next room, and then you're fully healed up again. With almost 1100 stamina, this character is just overall good value. Now, sure, he's a little, I don't want to say outdated, but like there are a lot of characters that do his job, unfortunately, a lot better than him nowadays. Alright, next on the list, True Bankai Ichigo. Fierce Battle Bankai Ichigo, transforming Bankai Ichigo. And honestly, this character is actually really, really nuts. First and foremost, he has a Soul Reaper Killer with strong attack recharge as his link. He has a transformation mechanic on his ultimate, which means that he resets all of his cooldowns, and then after 30 seconds he resets his cooldowns again, which is actually quite mad. He has a decreased Soul Reaper damage taken of 20%, which, like I said, with the Full Hollow Ichigo 4th anniversary, I feel like this is kind of a wasted skill, honestly. Berserker of 40% since he doesn't have any status ailments. The Bruiser of 40%, which is nice because he gets an increased mag when he transforms. Devastation of 60%, which means he's going to be dealing even more damage with his ultimate than a normal character. Frenzy and Paralysis Immunity, Sprinter +1, and probably one of my favorite skills, hit hidden enemy chance 100%. This means that he does not have to waste a slot on a Zeta Ball and still be able to hit all the enemies that are underground. This is really good when you're trying to run a tension tie where you can actually clear an entire room, including the boss, with one ultimate and then not have to worry about the enemies that are underground. That's actually quite nasty. Now he has a lunge first strong attack, a beam of 2500 length second strong attack, and then a 975 third strong attack, which I personally, like I said, I say it all the time. I know I probably beat that stuff into your head, but I personally like the 975 radius third strong attack, the one that's just massive dick in front of you. Like it's really good. Going into the magnifications, he actually, unlike true Bankai Ichigo, let's go into true Bankai Ichigo. Now going to true Bankai Ichigo's magnifications, you'll see that his magnification goes from 120% for his lunge to 140%. Now going into fierce battle Ichigo, his first strong attack changes from a 120 magnification to 150, which means that he gets a 20 to 25% increase in his damage, which is insane. He gets 20% on his normal attack damage string, and he gets 25% on his strong attacks, which, if he's already dealing a lot of damage at less SP level 10, he's going to be dealing 25% more damage, and he resets all his cooldowns. And the thing that I love about this character the most is if you're running something like Guild Quest, you go in, you do your lunge, you do your full screen third strong attack, the boss is left over alive, you do your second strong attack to that specific boss, you pop your ultimate, you get all your cooldowns back, and then you pop all your strong attacks all over again. And then after 30 seconds, if you didn't already clear the run because maybe you don't have the best accessories, he gets all his cooldowns back again. And you do all this in the span of what? Like 10 seconds? Well, you use all your strong attacks, ultimate, use all your strong attacks again in the span of 10 seconds. Like, just an overall great value character. And honestly, when it comes to Guild Quest alone, I do think that he's actually better than the first on the list. Alright, so next on the list, definitely going to have to give it to 5th Anniversary Ichigo. 5th Anniversary Ichigo is actually really busted, and he's actually the first character to get a Berserker of 60% while having status ailments on his attack. On all of his attacks, mind you. This character is so stupid, bro. 823 Spiritual Pressure, Hollow and a Rancor Killer, as well as a Strong Attack Recharge minus 12%. Now, going into his actual skills, as you can see here, he does have 8 skills. Marauder lets him buy... Marauder's so stupid. Marauder pretty much lets him play as a range character instead of a melee, so you don't have to worry about the melee resistance characters anymore, which means he's useful in 4 of the 8 current guild quests, as well as extreme co-op and being able to bypass the rules there. Also, one of the best characters to carry in inheritance zones, one of the best characters in what's the word I'm looking for, in epic raids. He's just a powerhouse. Like, being able to weaken as well as have like the massive berserker and then deal even more damage because the enemy is weakened, and then you have debilitator of 5 seconds to make that even better. He's nuts. Devastation 40% with Devastation 40% with weakening is pretty busted. Frenzy, he has Havoc 20% just to make life a little easier. Marauder, Sprinter +2, so he zooms, and then Bruiser 20% as if he needed more damage anyways. His first strong attack is a standard lunge. Second strong attack is the 960 radius. Normally 800 without Havoc, but he does have Havoc. And one of the best parts about his third strong attack is, even though that it's a charged skill, and like I said, I don't personally like charged skills, his charge skill is 840 radius in front of him, which means he doesn't have to go in between the enemies. He doesn't have to wriggle around like the little brother that's trying to get in front of the line because he needs to go to the bathroom, you know? He just goes in, pop, bro. He just pops bottles, bro. That's it. He's like Drake. Alright, and then if you want to charge it, he gets a beyond full screen, double damage, third strong attack. His actual third strong attack, if you're not using a tension tie, hits about as hard as his ultimate. Keep in mind, his ultimate guarantees weakening, which means that you'll probably deal more damage with the special because weakening will be guaranteed to proc. Yeah, so I mean, that's pretty much that for this Ichigo. He's insane. Hollow and a Rancor Killer are both great killers. If he was given Soul Reaper and a Rancor, or Soul Reaper and Hollow, I think he'd be better. But, hey man, not everyone can be perfect, you know what I'm saying? But he comes pretty damn close. Now next on the list, and for those y'all know exactly who I'm putting on the list, bro. Y'all know me, boys. Miracle only happens once, you say? So what do you call this? Yo, Bankai Ichigo, let's go, boys. As you can see here, this Bankai Ichigo is busted. Strong attack recharge minus 12%, Captain Killer because he takes down Byakuya, paralysis immunity minus 55%. I think that he would have been a little broken if he was given full immunity to paralysis, but whatever. He was given adrenaline because, like, as if he needed to zoom faster than that. Berserker 40%. Honestly, this character, all he needed was frenzy, and he'd be the best character in the game. But I guess I will leave it at that. You know, guys, grind on, catch up, hit me up, stay blessed. Let me know what you guys think of this list. Obviously, I'm joking. I'm actually kind of worried because sometimes I'll be really trolly and my sarcasm doesn't translate well all the time. But yeah, I just want to give a quick shout out to my sponsor from Bleach Immortal Souls. I appreciate the sponsorship. And yeah, be sure to use the download link down below. It's actually a pretty cute game. Like, I actually would recommend checking it out for those that want to support the Bleach IP. And yeah, I guess I will leave it at that. You know, guys, grind on, catch up, hit me up, stay blessed. I wish y'all the best luck in your summons. Y'all have a great day, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.